Okay. Hello, guys. Welcome to another Sunday night live. I think this is actually my 29th one of these live streams that I've done. So that's fun. I'm getting close to that the 30 mark. So I'm still adjusting the tripod. I hope everybody is doing fantastic out there. Today I decided just to, I guess I didn't really decide to do this every Sunday, but today I'm going to talk about movies, and just chat with you guys. Again, this is one of my favorite things about this channel, just having a community to talk to. So it's yeah, I absolutely love doing these live streams. But I hope everybody out there is having a fantastic Sunday. At least here in the United States, it is Memorial Day weekend, and so there are a ton of garage sales going on, and just a ton of I mean, flea markets and all kinds of stuff is all happening around. So if you are in the United States, and you can go enjoy some garage sales. Um, but yeah, I hope everybody out there is doing well. Um, if you are watching this back through on the playback on YouTube, as I'll re-upload or whatever, feel free to leave any comments down below for any of the things discussed in this video, and I will get back to you on those. Um, and thank you for tuning in. But and that goes for everybody else who's watching live. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. But yeah, so today is um, it's kind of like I should say this week has been um, let's see, Ralph. Hi, Kyle. Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to you too, Ralph. But thank you for tuning in. This week has been absolutely insane. If you are a regular on my channel and you watch all my videos, you may have noticed I did not post a video this week, which kind of breaks my one of my New Year's resolutions, which was to post a video at least once a week for the entire year. Um, and so that kind of breaks that resolution a little bit. But this week has been absolutely insane. I just feel like every single day there has been something from the minute I woke up to going to bed. And so I didn't watch a ton of stuff this week. I tried to at least just try to get slip in some time to relax, but yeah, I unfortunately was not able to make a video and edit it and post it this week, which was kind of unfortunate because I do like making videos, and I love hearing your guys' feedback on them. And so, yeah, but I promise this next week, this upcoming week, I will be making a video. I'll probably actually be filming one tonight and getting it uploaded sometime in the next couple of days. But yeah, I hope everybody is doing all right. So, let's see. What is your favorite movie, or what is your favorite Saw movie, and least favorite Saw movie, and what's your favorite trap and least favorite trap? Um, ooh, that's a great question. So my favorite Saw movie. I used to really like the Saw franchise. Um, Maybe it's because like when I started watching it, I was like, in high school, and so it's kind of like, more of like an edgy like teen thing to watch, I guess. I don't know, but I'd say my favorite movie probably is the first. I really like the first movie. After that, I feel like they get a little like I don't know. And they kind of get like a lot of like maybe like full of themselves. I don't know if that's the right word, but like, um, I feel like they kind of lose what makes them like interesting movies, and they're just trying to go with like the most like gross out effect as possible, which I kind of know is the point. But I mean, we've had now 10 Saw films. And I think they're planning on to have more, which is kind of ridiculous. But the story ended a long time ago for me. I mean, Saw 3 was really where the story should have ended, but um, I don't know about my favorite Saw traps. I'd have to think about that one, and I don't know about least favorite. Probably the final chapter is probably my least favorite out of the series. I'd say maybe, or maybe Saw 4. I don't know. I let's see. Hi, admire your collection. Greetings from Chile. Um, Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, I've only seen the first Saw movie upon release in cinema. Yeah, I've only seen one Saw film in the theater, and that was Saw 10, and, like, I don't know, it's not my favorite type of film. I feel like I enjoy slashers more, and so the Saw franchise just, like I feel like it's trying to have, like, so many twists and turns at this point that it's kind of, like, losing me a little bit, um, where it seems like it's almost like every movie feels like an M. Night Shyamalan film where it's like they feel like they have to have a twist ending, um, and, that's just, like, part of the series now, which I don't know, maybe that's why the first movie just seemed to be, like, the best is because it's, like, the twist seems so small, but, like, it was still fun, um but anyway, I'm going to talk about the things that I watched this week. Also, I do apologize. Right now, I am currently like pretty tired. I spent all day mowing the grass out, like in my yard today, and so just having an extremely busy week, and then just like trying to mow the grass today, which the grass was like almost 2 feet high. It was ridiculous, but um, just being out in the sun all day really just took it out of me. But I am excited to be here and on this live stream. So I'm going to, hopefully have some energy through this. But um, I'm going to talk about the things I watched this week. And yeah, so starting the week off, let me flip in my notebook. Also, again, I say this every single live stream. So again, I also apologize to the people that have heard this a million times. But one of my goals this year is to watch 365 movies, and I am currently at 178. So I feel like I'm like slowly creeping in on that goal of mine. But um, so starting things off this week, I decided to watch the film The Black Belly of the Tarantula. Now, this is a giallo. This is put out by Blue Underground, or this edition of it is. Um, and I enjoyed this. I thought it was a lot of fun. I really like giallo movies. I feel like they have like a lot of, you know, there's a lot of like fun with them, and I feel like the directors can also just take it in an interesting direction. And so overall, I really like this movie. It didn't have a whole lot to do with tarantulas. They made an appearance in the movie, but I feel like the title made it seem like they'd play a bigger part. But overall, really enjoyed this. If you're a fan of giallo type of films, I would recommend checking this out. Um, the next thing I watched, this is a TV season. It was only ran for 24 episodes, and I've been working through this box set. So this is the Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee. This is technically volume one, and this is a season of a show that like ran, I believe, in Poland, maybe. It's like an anthology series. And it ran for 20 or 24 episodes. The episodes are like 25 minutes each. And so I'm counting like 4 episodes as like one movie. That way it ends, kind of like it all lines up too, if that makes sense. But this is the show, and I did not know what to expect from this, but overall, it's like the intros are fun. All the introductions are by Christopher Lee, and that's why it's in this box set. Um, but overall, I would say it's not that interesting of a show, and so I just feel like it is. Some episodes are more interesting than others, but the first few for me were just not interesting really at all, and so. Um, yeah, I feel like I'm excited to see there's or a couple episodes directed by Andrei Zulawski, which is the same director as Possession, which I talked about last week. But um, I'm very curious to see what he does with this. But overall, I feel like it's just an all right show. I don't see myself revisiting it anytime soon. But I do see myself rewatching some of these movies more. But I would say for me, this is probably the weakest point of this whole box set. Um, but that's just my opinion. I don't know. I feel like it could be a fun um, series, but especially for those Christopher Lee fans. But what is the most overrated horror movie in your opinion? For me, it's the Friday the Third, or first Friday film, and first Exorcist. Um, Overrated horror. That's a great question. I might have to say, uh, Get Out. That might be my answer. I feel like I feel like it's like one of those movies that people like consider to be like one of the greatest horror movies like ever made, and I see it on lists all the time of like top 100 greatest horror movies, and it's good. It's definitely like a good film, but it's not like I don't think it really does anything like new, if that makes sense. I feel like it get kind of copies other films that came out before it, and so overall, I think it's a good movie, but it's not like top tier horror for me. I definitely there's other horror films I'd rather rewatch than Get Out. Um, but that's just my opinion. And I can understand like the Friday the 13th one. It's definitely Friday the 13th. It feels like kind of cheesy and it was basically a rip-off of Halloween trying to capitalize on that, and then it just kind of like took off. Which I absolutely love the Friday the 13th series. That's like one of my favorite like horror series of all time. And it's just definitely one of those movies that I really enjoy. But so the next thing I watched, speaking of horror, this is the first time I ever watched this movie, but that is the film Ghoulies. So this is the MVD Rewind collection. There's a 4K, um, it's like 4K series that they're putting out, and so this is the second movie of their series. I absolutely love these editions because it makes it look like the CED covers, which is so fun. And so I feel like if you're not aware of what a CED is, this cover doesn't make as much sense because you'd be, wondering what this little white part here and why it looks like, you know, this doesn't look like it's like stuck down. I don't know if you can even tell in the video, but looks like the sticker's bubbling, which is, was a common thing with CEDs. Um, but yeah, this movie was not what I was anticipating at all. This is definitely more of like I was kind of expecting more of like a Gremlins, Critters type of film. Um, but this is definitely more of a like, this guy gets obsessed with like this, like his he gets a house, he inherits a house, I should say, and then ends up like finding out that the person who lived there, I think it was his father or grandfather, was into like in a like a part of a cult, and he kind of gets kind of obsessed with all of that world, and essentially just brings that world to life. And yeah, it definitely not what I was anticipating, but overall, I liked it. I am curious because I know there's two other Ghoulies films. I have Ghoulies 3 on VHS, but I do not have Ghoulies 2. So I'm very curious where they're going to take this series eventually when I get around to getting those. But yeah, I'd say definitely if you are a fan of the film, definitely worth grabbing this because the movie looked fantastic on 4K. Um, so the next thing I watched, this is a Criterion Collection edition of a film by one of my like slowly becoming one of my favorite directors within the Criterion Collection. This is a Jean-Luc Godard film, spy number 238, and that is the film A Woman is a Woman. Um, this is one of those movies that I feel like after I watched it, I just kinda sat there and just, like, thought about it for, 10, 20 minutes after, and, um, I absolutely love his directing style. I just think and editing too. His editing style is fantastic. It reminded me a lot of, another movie by him, which I talk about this movie all the time on this channel, but that is the film Contempt, and, yeah, unfortunately, both of these are out of print, but yeah, I absolutely loved this movie. It was fantastic. I thought it was such a brilliant like film, and so I was very I don't know. It felt very like almost like special to sit down and actually watch this movie. This is actually a pretty hard movie to come across, but yeah, overall, I really enjoy this, and if you are a fan of Godard films, I would highly, highly, highly recommend checking this out. It's definitely worth your time. And honestly, I would say it's worth the money. I feel like on eBay it runs roughly at you know, anywhere from like 50 to like $80, maybe 75, somewhere in that range. I didn't pay that much, but that is I'd say that's roughly what it like goes for. So I would highly recommend if you are a fan of Godard films, especially if you're a fan of like the movie like Contempt, goodness. Um, I would highly recommend checking it out because it was fantastic. I mean, it's such a simple little story, but by the end of the film, you just feel like you are part of the characters' lives, and it's so well done. But speaking of well done films, the next movie I watched, this one I was putting off for a little bit because of the probably the length. It is 197 minutes long, so it's like 3 hours long, which you know when I especially this week, it just seemed like I did not have a lot of time, and so, I made time for this because I was like, "Well, I can watch part of it today, part of it tomorrow," type of deal, but I ended up just sitting through the entire thing, staying up way too late, and watch this movie, but this is Spy Number 265. This is put out by Robert Altman, who's the, director, and that is the film Shortcuts. Now, this movie is absolutely like fantastic. I absolutely loved this movie. Um, there are so many different storylines going on at the same time, and all these interweaving characters. This feels very like, in a way, it feels like Pulp Fiction, if that makes sense. Where you have multiple characters all interacting with each other. You have, these stories that these characters might eventually interact with these characters, and just it's everything's like weaving in and out of. It's based off of a book, um, but I think it's based off of a book or adaptation. Yeah, um, but it's absolutely amazing. I really, really enjoyed this movie. Um, and it feels just like very real. It feels like this is you're just getting a sneak peek into all these people's lives, and so it's very fascinating. But overall, I really enjoyed this one. Um, let's see. What was the best transfer you have seen from any form of home media to another? Ooh, that's a great question. I mean, I would say, like, there's some solid 4Ks out there. My go-to to, like, show people, like, what 4K can be, um, is 2001: A Space Odyssey. That's just such a fantastic transfer. It looks absolutely beautiful. But there is another one that I came across, not too long ago, and I talked about this, I think, on this channel, but, that is the film Awaken. And it is just this is honestly a fantastic film, but it's also just a very beautiful film. I feel like it's I don't know. It shows like really what 4K can do, and I would love first off, I would have loved to see this in a theater. I don't know if it got a theatrical release or not, but I would have loved to see this on a bigger screen. I only have a 55-inch 4K. This I feel like would really shine on like an 85-inch TV. So it would be I feel like it's one of those movies that is so like so just like beautiful. I don't know how to describe it. This is definitely a movie that you just have to experience, but I have no idea what the original thing was. I mean, this might have been shot and then just released onto this, so I don't know if that counts as a transfer or not. But overall, I would say if not this, I would say 2001: A Space Odyssey just looks absolutely amazing. Especially I've seen it on several different formats, and the 4K just nothing even comes close to it. It looks absolutely amazing. But what are your thoughts on Slacker by Richard Linklater? Yes, so I've seen this a while back, and I I want to rewatch this. I remember really liking it when I first watched it, and I would like to sit down and rewatch this again because I feel like it's again one of those movies that just have a lot of characters and um, unlike Shortcuts, I feel like this movie doesn't really have a story like going through. Shortcuts, you can kind of see each of these individual characters like and their story, but like Slacker, it's just like you're just getting glimpses, and you're not getting like, it doesn't ever go back to those characters. You're just getting like a little glimpse of these people, like, you know, oh, these people might, or like it might be focusing on this character, and then he gets on a bus, and then you know uh, then he kind of like sits next to somebody and they start talking, and then the camera follows that person, another like a different person that gets off the bus, and then they might go to a restaurant and sit down and talk to the waitress, and then the waitress might go, and it kind of just like follows different characters, and it's very interesting. I absolutely really enjoy this one. I feel like it's a very good, like, I don't know, it's something different than what your traditional, like, story is, and so, again, I would like to rewatch it, sometime soon, but, let's see, if you could only watch one horror movie for the last time, what movie would you pick? Ooh, um, I feel like I have to pick one that I don't like. If I can only watch it for the last time, um I don't know. I mean, I'd say out of major horror films, because I won't pick one that like is an easy, just trash horror film. But like as far as major horror films, I would probably say, hmm, maybe like, wow, I that's a hard question. I would have to really think about that. I'd say maybe like The Howling. Not that The Howling is a bad movie, but it's just like not my type of horror film. Like overall, I'd say werewolves are just like not like, I don't know. It's not like my favorite genre of film. Between werewolves and vampires, I feel like those two are like not my favorite types of horror films. Um, but yeah, that's a hard question. But so lastly, the last movie that I watched this week, which I finished last night, um, and then I actually have something fun to share with you guys. But I watched again by Robert Altman. I watched the movie Three Women. So this is another one that he's also kind of becoming like another favorite of mine within the Criterion Collection. I feel like everything that I've seen by Robert Altman within the Criterion Collection is absolutely brilliant. Um, and they're fun. They're so like I have a couple other films by him that I have not seen yet, but I'm very excited to check them out. Um, but yeah, Three Women was definitely not what I was expecting either. I feel like this one, like I don't know. I feel like if you have not seen this before, and it seems kind of interesting to you, like go watch it. Don't like look up reviews or anything. Just like go watch it and experience it, because I feel like going into this without knowing exactly what it was about like helped the experience. But um, yeah, I overall I liked it, but it definitely was not, to me. It was not as good as Shortcuts. So, but that is everything that I watched this week. Um, I feel like again, I didn't watch like a ton of stuff this week. Um, let's see. I just watched Brazil 1985, or Too Long and Quickly for my or Quirky, sorry. I just watched Brazil 1985, Too Long and Quirky for my taste. Yes, I feel like Brazil is one of those like almost like an acquired taste films where Terry Gilliam, just in general, I feel like he's definitely like an acquired taste like director. Um, I feel like some of his movies, I've not seen a ton of his movies, but I remember liking Brazil, but it's definitely out there. It's definitely like a strange film. What I find interesting about it though was the budget and what he was able to accomplish with like not a ton of money. I feel like it's a very impressive film in that regard. Plus, like, I still have this on, my DVD set because I this is one of my first Criterion sets that I bought, um, because I absolutely love this box set. I think it is so cool with, like, the 3, like, 3 discs in here, and, I would like to rewatch this. It's been a very long time since I've seen it, um, but, yeah, I remember, enjoying it. Do you own all the Howling movies? So I have Howling 1 and then Howling 2 on VHS, Howling 3 on DVD, and Howling Reborn on DVD. But then I also have the Howling, let's see, 5 and 6 on VHS. So I'm definitely missing a few. Um, and I've not seen 5 or 6 of the Howling films. Eventually, I would, maybe what I should do is like rewatch because it's been a while since I have seen the Howling series. So I don't know if that is a good answer to your other question about if I could only watch it for the last time. Um, but yeah, maybe I should rewatch that like the whole series and just start from the beginning. I know Howling 2 is kind of its own thing, which I need to actually sit down and watch Howling 2 because I've just watched, so many reviews of the movie that um, I feel like I've seen it, um, but yeah. Sorry, it sounds like it's raining outside. um, I That's supposed to thunderstorm where I live, but um, yeah. So that is everything I watched this week, and I'm hoping this week to not be nearly as busy with stuff. I feel like the I don't know, this life happened and I just kind of wasn't able to make a video, which I have a list of ideas for videos, and so I'm very excited to do some of those ideas this week in a video. But um, is the Puppet Master franchise worth getting into? So yes and no. I I have this. Let me grab it. Maybe I have this amazing Puppet Master box set. So this has Puppet Master 1 through 7 um, in it, which I really like the Puppet Master films. I feel like there's a few in here that are not worth watching. I'm trying to think of those. There's one. Which one was it now? Um, there's one where it's essentially just like clips of the film of the yeah, one of the movies. What was it? The Curse? No, The Legacy. That's it. The Puppet Master Legacy is essentially just like a montage of clips from all the other Puppet Master movies, and they marketed that as a movie, and it was not good. But it does have what's his name? Greg from The Room, the guy who wrote The Disaster Artist, um, like the book. But I would say yes and no when it comes to the Puppet Master series. I feel like it is a series that if you don't mind kind of like cheesy horror, it's definitely worth checking out. At least the first film, and if you like the first film, I'd say maybe just keep going. Puppet Master 3, I remember being pretty good. There's definitely like hits and misses within the series, but overall, I would say uh, it's like it's like a fun series. I mean, if you like Full Moon just in general, it's definitely um, I don't know. It's if you like Full Moon, check out the Puppet Master series, I guess. But and any updates on the outdoor cat? So yes, that's what I wanted to discuss with you guys um, in a moment. Um, that I let's see. I was gonna have my wife bring down the cat, so for you guys to meet him. Um, so yeah, he's we picked a name for him, and I will share that in just a minute. But and it's weird they only have the third Puppet Master on 4K because rights issues. Yes, I would say just in general though, Puppet Master 3 was just like a fun, as far as I can remember. I remember really enjoying it. I would like to revisit the whole series, Um, and I would like to get them all on Blu-ray, but I currently just have them on a, DVD set. I would say like one option, if you are curious about the Puppet Master series, I would just grab this. I have no idea what this runs, but um, it is 9 films. The quality is not going to be super great, but because it's like the first 5 films on one disc and the rest on the other. Um, so it's definitely it's kind of like a weird, like, this is probably your cheapest option to get into the Puppet Master series, um, but so this is Biscuit. For everybody who followed this mini journey within um, what's it called? Um, like my live streams. A few live streams ago, I had to end it early because this little guy came back. And this is his first time down here, so this is kind of fun. But this is him. Um, he's pretty cute. He's getting used to living inside. And yeah, I'm very excited. But yeah, this is Biscuit. But um, yeah, so I want to say hi. No. So we still have to get him a collar, and we have to. Okay, okay, okay. There you go. But we have to get him a collar, and we have to. What? Yeah. We have to get him a collar, and you have to get him, this checked out at the doctor's, but or the vets. Um, but yeah, let's see. I have that exact DVD. Yes. Yes, I would definitely. Um, I don't know. I hold on to mine mainly for Puppet Master 9. That's the only one I'm missing within my like collection. Or maybe I'm also missing the Legacy. I think I'm missing. Oh no, I have Puppet Master 9. Oh no. Okay. I'm missing the last two on this as an individual release. That's why I still hold on to this. But I also watched Back to the Future 2 and 3. Very enjoyable. Just not as good as the first part. Hello, Biscuit. Yeah, the Back to the Future series, I feel like that first film is an absolute perfect, like, Um, it's a perfect movie. I don't think there is a single thing that I would change about it. The pacing is perfect. Music and editing and everything along with it is just absolutely like spot on. Um, and overall, as a trilogy, I would say it is a pretty solid trilogy of films. It definitely, like the second and third movie, as you say, like art is not as good as the first movie, but I they're still definitely enjoyable, and I can kind of see what they're trying to do with it. But that is like one of those series that I know Robert Zemeckis has basically made it like part of his life mission to make sure that the rights to those films never leaves the family. So they can never do a remake or a spin-off or a reboot or anything. Um, because he knows that if they tried to go back and remake it, it would not be nearly as good. Um, but which I agree with. I don't think that they should ever try to make a Back to the Future 4. Like, 3 ended perfectly with just the time machines destroyed, like the story's done. Um, but yeah, I really really enjoy that first movie because every time I watch it, it's still just like the whole clock tower scene of him trying to get it plugged in. It's just still I've seen it 100 times, but it's like every single time I'm still on the edge of my seat, like wondering if he's going to make it. It is so well done that yeah, I absolutely just love it. But um, so yeah, that is um, trying to think if there's anything else that was big updates. Um, I know I talked about it on last live stream. I was going to post a photo of Biscuit um, on my Instagram page, but I did not have time to do so. Um, but Um, but what are some things that you guys are watching? I know there was the Vinegar Syndrome like halfway to Black Friday sale going on this weekend, and so I unfortunately did not participate in it. Um, Mainly because I was looking at the stuff and nothing really was jumping out at me, in regards to things that I want. I have a list of like immediate want, like wish list of things that I would like to get very soon, and so I figured I'd rather save my money and work towards some of those goals. Because I think I would rather, you know, finish off some of the little like loose ends of like my like director's section. I'm missing a few like Argento films, and there's a few excuse me, there's a few Andrei Zulawski films that I would like to eventually get. But yeah, I feel like I I think a few years ago I went pretty hard on the Vinegar Syndrome sale, but um, yeah. When it comes out, are you going to get A Nightmare on Elm Street on 4K? Um, Maybe. So I still have yet to get the Friday the 13th films. I think they put out the first, at least the first movie on 4K. I don't know if they did any of the other ones, but I've yet to get that. Um, and I don't really feel like a need to necessarily. I have them all on Blu-ray. I did get the first five Halloween films on 4K, but I don't know. I just feel like at a certain point, I'm like tired of buying the same movie over and over and over, um, especially when it comes to like some of these horror films because I've bought so many different editions of the movies over the years, and so um, I don't know. I might get A Nightmare on Elm Street on 4K. I feel like it would be an interesting, um, an interesting one to see on 4K. But ugh, excuse me. Um, yeah. So I don't know. I feel like I wish that A Nightmare on Elm Street would get the same. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I'm like not doing well. I'm so tired. I wish A Nightmare on Elm Street would get the same treatment as the Friday the 13th series or the Halloween series when it comes to like these really nice box sets from Scream Factory. I would have loved to see this exact same thing, but for A Nightmare on Elm Street. I know it won't happen mainly because of rights issues, which is really annoying because I feel like that would sell so well to have a complete, you know, a really nice box set of all the Nightmare on Elm Street films. Because right now, the best thing that we have is the closest thing that we have is this, which um, is not ideal in the slightest. I feel like it is. Um, I don't know. I feel like it's. I mean, you have the first movie on disc one, and second and third movie on another disc, and fourth and fifth and sixth, seven. Like you having multiple movies on a disc is just going to drop the quality, and so I don't know. This is like not ideal, but it's the best thing we have so far. So is Ivan's Childhood by Tarkovsky on Criterion? Watched it on YouTube. Shame on me. So yes, Ivan's Childhood, which is the only Tarkovsky film that I own that I have not seen, which I really need to sit down and watch it. But yeah, they have it on a Criterion Blu-ray. I don't know if it's on the Criterion channel or not. Um, but yeah, I've not seen this one, and one that is pretty high up on my wish list is getting Nostalgia on 4K by Kino Lorber, because I would love to see that film. I've never watched it, but yeah, Tarkovsky is he's also one of the directors that is becoming a favorite of mine. He's definitely a an interesting director, but I watched the first 20 minutes, House by the Cemetery DVD was awful. I have a 32-inch, let's see, 32-inch T TBH, to be honest. see, the 32-inch, I'm assuming, to be honest, didn't even fit the screen, and the movie was so bad, I walked to Goodwill and donated it. Um, yeah, House by the Cemetery. It's been a while since I've seen it. I do own it. I think I have yes, I have the Blue Underground DVD of the film, and I would like to rewatch it. I feel like it's been a while since I have seen it. Um, Definitely not my favorite Lucio Fulci film. I feel like some of his movies are better than others. Um, but yeah, it was okay as far as I can remember. But I need to rewatch. I need to also watch more of this director. I feel like he is a an interesting director that I've kind of a blind spot for me when it comes to horror. I've seen like Zombie, which is directed by him, and The Beyond. I think that's yeah. I think that's is that it that I've seen of his. Oh, and New York Ripper. But this is one that I really don't remember very well. Um, but yeah. How many movies have you watched so far this year? Hmm, sorry, guys, I keep yawning. Um, let's see. So this year I am up to 178. So um, it's a lot, but I'm hoping to. I mean, if I keep on this track, which I should be, I'll reach my goal definitely this year. But I feel like there's definitely um I don't know. There's definitely other films that are. I mean, there's a lot in theaters right now that I wouldn't mind seeing, which I might try to go to the theater this week. Probably not anytime this um what's it called this weekend, because at least in America with Memorial Day, everyone and their mother is going to be at the theater most likely. So it's just going to be very busy. But other than YouTubers, I watched and recommended are the Lost River Drive. Let's see. Wait, other YouTuber. Okay, yeah, sorry, I misread that. Other YouTubers I watch and recommend are the Lost River Drive in a guy named Nick. He's a good guy and Planet. Chi- his name is Christian. Both big physical media and horror guys. Okay, sweet. I'll have to check them out. I'm gonna screenshot the comment. Um, yeah, I'll have to check that out. So yeah, I'm gonna do a video eventually talking about like other YouTubers I watch. Because I know um there's definitely a lot of YouTubers on this platform that talk about physical media, and have physical media collections, and so some of them are giant. Some of them I can't believe, but and even some Instagrammers I watch, their reels and stuff is just insane what they have. But are you? Let's see. Are we? Wait. As we are coming up halfway through the year, how are all your New Year goals coming along? So one of them I talked about briefly that I will be, um, you know, I've already broken technically, which was this last week of not making a video. One of them was, making a video every single week of the year. Um, so that one it's technically broken. Maybe I'll have to make it up by releasing 2 videos 1 week or something. Um, but as far as my other ones, watching movies goes, I feel like I'm right on track with that. Um, Owning the Criterion, from Spy Numbers 1 through 300, I am kind of waiting for the sale to roll around, which, um, like, I'm kind of already planning for, and so I feel like that won't be too hard. A little bit worried about the out of print stuff that I still need. I feel like I'm gonna have to, like, buckle down and actually, start buying some of those, um, because there's a decent amount of out of print stuff that I'm missing from Spy Numbers 200 to 300. But yeah, I feel like that one's gonna be a little harder. But in regards to watching Criterion, because one of my goals is to watch up to 300, and so um, at least up to 300. But I feel like I'm slowly getting there. There's definitely a few in here that are like I don't know what like how this like fell into like when they were planning out the collection, but it just seems there is like, 3 hour movie after 3 hour movie after 3 hour movie within the like spy numbers like um let's see, what is this? 230 or 229. Like there's a few other ones, but the one that I keep getting hung up on is Scenes from a Marriage, because the television version of this movie is 297 minutes long. And so that's just a huge time commitment. Even the US theatrical version is 169 minutes, um, which is a pretty decent, length. And so I need to do some research to see, which version is the best one to watch because usually the longer of the two is the best. But I mean, there's that one. I mean, the Tin Drum is another one that I still need to watch. Is 163 minutes. The Leopard is one that I started the other day, and that's also like 3 hours long. Let's see, the Battle of Algiers is 121 minutes. And I mean, Turner 88 is like a almost like a TV show, basically. It's 353 minutes long. Um, and then Fanny and Alexandra, um, also just extremely long. There's a bunch of different versions of that. And so basically, with all that being said, there's just like a ton of Criterion that are just very, very long films. And so I keep putting them off because, that's a huge time commitment to sit down and actually watch some of these. And so um, that is going to be a harder part of my goals this year is just to actually, watch all of the films in my Criterion collection that I wanted to, at least this year. But let's see. I don't know why, but I'm surprised Toby Hooper directed Poltergeist. I've never seen it, but it's just from the other movies, it seems weird to me. Yeah, I kind of agree. I feel like it's definitely like because I know like Spielberg produced it or something, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check that, make sure I'm saying that right. Um, yeah, Steven Spielberg production. Yeah, produced by Spielberg. Yeah, it's definitely like a strange like movie in that regards. I remember really liking it. It's definitely worth checking out. And there's definitely some elements of it that were definitely scarier than I was anticipating. I mean, the movie's only rated PG, but it's definitely if it was made today, it'd probably get a PG-13 at least. Um, but it's definitely a fascinating film. Uh, what were your thoughts on Criterion being sold recently? So yeah, that was something else that happened. Was Criterion the owner got sold, or it sold like switched owners basically. Um, Now, truthfully, I do not know if like this is the, first time this has ever happened. Is this the 10th time it's happened? Does this happen every other year? Is this the only time that people are talking about it? Um, I mean, that little ad that I read says that they're going to continue to do the exact same thing that they've always been doing. Um, but I just hope that's the case. I have no idea what like how much influence does the owner have over like what movies get picked. I know it is a privately owned company, and so it's like, they're not answering to like a board of directors or anything like that because it's um if they had to answer to like a board of people, then it's kind of like I feel like then there would be like a different influence on what films get put into the Criterion Collection. So I'm very curious to see, I should do some research and see how many times this has happened before. Because if it stays the exact same, I don't really think that there's any, effect. But what I hope that they don't do is just basically go in and then start just cutting things out of print left and right to save money. Because that would be very unfortunate. That's probably like the worst case scenario if they just went in and started just taking movies out of the of like in within print, just to save money. So I hopefully if this is a hopefully this is a positive change for Criterion that maybe some of the out of print stuff can come back into print and maybe there might be some more 4Ks that come out and stuff like that. So we'll have to wait and see, but I will always love Criterion. Even if it completely changes, completely in a different direction, starts putting out, Marvel movies or, Disney, I don't know, like movies. Um, like nothing wrong with those, but not Criterion, if that makes sense. They're not like in the same like realm. If they only start releasing, just American superhero movies within the collection, I'll probably stop collecting right around Spy Number 1200 because that's roughly where we are now. Um, but yeah, I'll always love Criterion. I feel like it's one of those weird things to happen to a company that we'll have to only time will tell what will happen, or what its effect will be on the company. But have you seen The Fun House by Toby Hooper? I was genuinely disappointed by it. The cover looked cool, in my DVD collection. LOL. So I have not seen The Fun House. Um, I believe this is it. Yes, I own it on VHS, but this is a kind of a cheap VHS tape. It's like put out by Good Times Video, um, and I would love to actually watch this movie. I feel like it is definitely not. Um, I feel like nobody really like talks about it a whole lot. I know Scream Factory put this out, not too long ago, but I just need to sit down and actually watch it. Um, so I can't really say one way or the other if it was good or bad. Um, let's see. I've seen around 70 movies this year, which marks an average of 3 movies every week. No goals here. Um, yeah, I definitely think it is. I mean, it's hard to get movies, especially like I'm grateful that I work for myself, and so I kind of like set my own hours. Um, but it's hard if you're working like a 9 to 5 and you come home and you have a long list of things that you need to get done. um and so I don't know, it's just it's watching movies is such a hard like thing to like get around to, especially if it's not like if you have a lot of other things going on. I mean, and I I'm trying to watch as many as I can now, because I know in later months this summer it's going to get absolutely crazy busy for me, and so I will not be able to watch nearly as much. Um, and so, yeah, but I'd say everyone has different amounts of time that they can dedicate to film, but um, I think like yeah, I mean 3 a week that's a pretty solid average, I would say. Um, but Funhouse is a classic in my opinion. Um, yeah, I need to check it out. What is your favorite Scream movie and least favorite? Mine, let's see. My least favorite is 6. So I recently watched Scream 5 and 6. I need to rewatch Scream 4. It's been a very long time since I've seen Scream 4. I remember feeling disappointed by it. I mean, it's hard to beat Scream like the original one. I feel like that is such a classic. Um, but I remember liking Scream 2 and 3. Just by default, I would say Scream 4 probably would be my least favorite. Mainly because I just haven't seen it. Excuse me. I haven't seen it in a while, but um, I remember liking Scream 5 and 6. I feel like I think I like Scream 5 more than I like Scream 6. I feel like 6 kind of took it in a different direction, which is interesting. It was like an interesting choice, but it wasn't like I don't know. Again, like Scream isn't like my like go-to franchise. Overall, I like the series, but yeah, I feel like it was um, yeah. I think as I liked probably the first one most, and then the fourth one least. But I need to just rewatch it because it's been a while since I've seen it. But But I will probably be wrapping this up here roughly, unless if there's anything else that people wanted to add to the conversation. Um, but yeah, I'm getting pretty tired. It's amazing what like being out in the sun will do, especially if you just had a busy week. Um, but yeah, if you guys are in America, I hope all of you guys have a restful day tomorrow. If you have the day off, I feel like Memorial Day weekend is one of the great times just to like chill with your family, watch some great movies. I feel like it's I might try to watch one of these like 3 hour long films. I haven't really decided. Maybe I'll sit down and try to do that either tonight or tomorrow. Tonight might not happen. Tonight might be an early night for me. But yeah, I hope that everybody has. Let's see. Yeah, I hope. Sorry, I hope everybody has a great rest of their week. Again, if you are, let's see, nap time here in Europe to till next time. Yes, it is definitely at least in the Ohio or in Ohio right now, where I'm living. It's like currently like storming, and I'm just like, oh, it's like the perfect time. I don't know if this is. I don't even know if this restaurant is uh, you know, in other places besides Ohio, because I don't really it's feel like it's smaller. I don't know if it's a nationwide or, um, but the restaurant Penn Station is like one of my absolute favorite restaurants ever. They make the best Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, and it is, it's one of those sandwiches. I mean, it's like this big. It's fantastic. It's expensive, but it's fantastic. Um, and it's one of those, like, sandwiches that I always tell myself what I should do is order one of those, eat it on, like, a rainy day, eat it, take a nap, wake up, watch a movie. It's like the perfect, like, the perfect sequence of events. Um, but yeah, if you ever had, Penn Station, definitely get the Philly cheesesteak. It is fantastic. What was I even talking about that? Um, yeah, so, um I lost my train of thought. But yeah, so I hope everybody has a great Memorial Day tomorrow. That you guys can just relax and enjoy the week. I hope everybody has a great week as well. And if you are watching this on the playback, on like the re-recording or whatever it's called on YouTube, feel free again just to leave any comments. And I hope everybody, any comments, and I'll get back to you. But let's see. This is random. It's a Canadian coffee place, but have you ever heard of Tim Hortons? Yes, yes, I have there's a few Tim Hortons in this area. I've never been to Tim Hortons, but I've definitely have heard of them. Um, and I knew it was like started in Canada. I need to try it out. I've never had it, but um, I feel like there's like certain foods that is just like absolutely perfect for like just sitting back and watching a movie. I always like to, if I'm watching a movie, I like to sit down with a nice cup of coffee and just like, just enjoy it. I feel like that's just like the perfect thing ever. So, but wherever you guys are in the world, I hope all of you guys have a fantastic week and a fantastic, weekend. I mean, enjoy the rest of the weekend. And yeah, go watch some fantastic films. And thank you everybody for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. This is my absolute favorite part of this channel is just to interact with you guys. There will be a new video this week, so sorry again that there wasn't one last week, but hopefully that will change in the future. But thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you guys all in the next live stream. So take care, guys.